What are some memories you got as a boy growing up around here in Tazewell? What are some things that stand out in your mind?
Well, I know just like in this area right here, I would leave on a Saturday with a friend, and we go walking up into the mountains here and hills, and we didn't have cell phones, and parents weren't able to call and say anything, so we would just say, we'll try to be home before dark.
Right.
But just being able to, we would walk all the way uptown, and we used to walk out on Mondays to the flea market.
Oh, man.
And everywhere, just things like that.
Yeah. I got something I want to work on. I'm going to try to do it this summer, called Do You Remember? And I'm going to go around to some places, even here in Tazewell, and say, do you remember? Like, when we talk about where the stock market used to be, and where McDonald's used to be, and when Food Line was back up in the other spot. I mean, there's all kinds of things that when you think about it, you can say, do you remember when this was here? Do you remember when that was there? And because there's all kinds of stuff when you think far back as when Hex was out here.
I remember that, yeah.
I mean, Hex was out there.
And we had Dairydale down here at the end of the street.
Right.
Because I would walk back and forth to school, and I would save up about 3 days of lunch money and not eat lunch.
Right.
And then on that fourth day, I'd be able to go and buy a hamburger at Dairydale after school.
Right. That lady that used to work there, I can't remember her name. She was so nice. And she worked there and worked at the one over toward War over there too. He had another one over that way.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
But she was nice. She was back, I remember her too back then growing up. So you think about stuff when you was a boy, being able just to take off and go walking.
Yeah, yeah.
And wasn't that something?
Go riding bikes up through the neighborhoods, and nobody would call and check on you. Or
man, but how come it's if my grandson did that, Lord, my daughter would be calling y'all. She'd have to put a chip in him to track him. I mean, but we would leave out with a hatchet and go to the mountains all day, and cut trees and do things. And how come that's
go
changed?
out with BB guns and
Why has it
into the
changed?
woods. And
how
all.
come it's changed?
I think we see so much on the news and so many things that can happen to children and teenagers that you want to make sure yours okay, and not that those things didn't happen all those years ago, but you didn't hear much about it. There wasn't as social media and things like there is now, so it was just a more trusting time.
So you think the times may not have changed as much as we hear more about it?
Right, we hear more about it.
Isn't that something?
Children were kidnapped, things were done.